Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
That's right. Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
What I just want to make sure you know right now is Halloween, so the costumes that you might be seeing this person wearing is a little bit of a combination. But I want to say brought to you by Dispose LLC. This little garbage company that I keep saying ain't really that little, but it is growing.
Yes.
Can do great things for you. All you got to do is go to the website and give it a call, and you probably hear from me. I might be the one to pick up the phone. I might be the one that actually deliver your can, but most importantly, we're there to serve you.
Yes.
So give Dispose LLC an opportunity. Go to my website or go to Dispose LLC. Now, let's get started with the cast and the crew of people that has been working with me for over 3 years. I got a long introduction, but we're gonna start with my man, Craftmatic. How you doing, Big Bang?
Man, I'm awesome, bruh. I'm awesome. Listen, I just got back off vacation, man, so I'm feeling like
feeling
like
love.
$1 million, man.
I like
$1 million, yeah.
Well, I
got
like
a chance to rest, see some family,
Okay.
enjoy myself a little bit. Got some work done. It was yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
man,
okay.
absolutely. And listen, I didn't
I
understand what you were saying last week.
He was doing some pot shots.
When I went back and listened to the show, you was putting all my business out there.
Yes, he was.
I don't appreciate that.
He was 6'9" in your ass.
Yeah, I don't
I heard it.
He
was
was
straight snitching.
I said, nah, I might
He
not want
was.
nobody to know I'm with somebody.
I think I need to retire him.
He got me answering the question worldwide.
Hey, I was 6'9".
Yeah,
Big time.
that's a new one. Y'all need to make a t-shirt about
I'm
that.
done. Yeah, he is a t-shirt. 6'9". I ain't like
listen,
snitch in the building. Snitch in the building.
I'm
We
good.
got 360 and 6'9".
Yeah.
See, that's why I'm retiring. People
Listen.
like him be telling your business.
So how you doing? How you doing tonight?
Man, I'm
Jay?
doing excellent.
I see, I
I'm
got my-
actually retiring. I'm retiring the pimp game.
Okay.
That's what the whole outfit is about tonight. We're retiring the pimp game.
Hashtag reserves.
You know something? It's always people that need help further than me, okay? That's why it's called a pimp slap. Gotta get people in the right place and the right set of mind.
Yeah.
That's what the coordination for. To help with that slap. Okay, and then next in the building, we got Big Buddha back in the building. How you doing, Phil?
Slow motion, you know how it is.
Slow motion. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Snitch!
You got to get
Anybody know his nickname?
When you snitch, you gotta do it in slow motion.
Is in the
That's the
building.
only way it can catch.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
And then next, we ain't gonna leave Barbara out from Macon, Georgia, that came in to make sure my birthday happened like no other. Barbara, how you doing?
Yeah, and if you folks hadn't
Barbara.
noticed, we got a holiday celebration going on for this episode. This is Halloween, and it is also my man Smooth Jay's birthday
Yes.
today.
Cash App,
sir.
Cash App. I'll take Cash
Yes,
App,
sir.
Visa Pay, what else they got there? PayPal.
Yeah.
Yeah, what all them is. Yeah, this way, just bring it this way.
Yeah, so I don't want you to think we dress like this all the time.
I mean, I used to. That's why I'm retired.
If you just happen to have only caught this episode.
It's a clown and having fun one.
Yeah.
But before, not last, never least, we are our artist for the night that's going to be performing and doing great things for us. King behind us.
King in the house. That's what's happening. That's what happening. And listen, we got a notable tribute in the house, Mr. TR380.
Oh, yes.
who always
Yes,
comes
sir.
That
through
always
in
been
the
supporting,
house.
always
Yes,
been
sir.
rocking.
Rock Diesel's in the house. C's
Yes,
in the
he's
house. You
performing
know,
tonight.
man, we got our bartender back here with what's the drink of the night? What's going on?
Yeah.
Jay's poison.
Jay's Poison.
Oh, let me tell you something. That got something to do with some scorpion.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm retired. Because everybody can't taste what I'm giving.
Yeah.
What y'all know about?
We got Big Boo behind us.
Listen,
Okay.
let us take a pause for the cause a minute and just properly introduce ourselves.
Okay.
This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay. And we are simply here to liberate. Liberate your minds, your souls, your spirits with a positive message. It's not often in the world that we get to hear positive messages. We typically listen to other people's problems and other people's stories and other people's pains. This is an opportunity to self-reflect. And you have, we hope that you can look into our dialogue tonight and see yourself. Meaning that you find a way to grow within yourself. Make some decisions that you've been sifting over for a long period of time. Maybe some of these our stories and opinions might persuade you to do something better, be something more, making the decision to become your greatest possibility. And so we thank you for being here with us tonight. We always start the night off with a prayer. And so why don't we get that popping, shall we, Jay?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let you, because I ain't dressed appropriate for the prayer tonight. I'm just saying. I'm retired this after this.
Last time I checked, Jesus was out there with everybody.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
might,
you definitely was.
you
Oh,
I was
might
right
be
now,
more
you know.
appropriately dressed than I am for the prayer tonight.
The same.
All right, let's just come under the dominion of the Lord. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity tonight. We thank you for being here with us and for your awesome grace and mercy and power over our lives, which sustain us and allow us to do this good work. We ask, Heavenly Father, particularly tonight for new beginnings. We ask that you would open new doors of opportunities and new doors of revelation in our mind. Give us a fresh outlook and a fresh perspective. Reveal our blessings to us, Lord, and allow us to receive those blessings exceedingly. We thank you, Father, for a fantastic show tonight. May your work be done. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Boy,
Did y'all
I love you,
feel
Lord.
it? Did y'all feel
You
it?
know when Kraft feeling it, he be like,
Come on.
Amen.
Brad had a whole other section he was about to do.
I'm telling you.
You know what's really going through my mind, bro?
What is that?
I didn't want to stop.
I can
You know what
tell
I'm saying? I had to
He's
say
about to
it.
kick it in second gear.
Oh yeah, listen, we ought to come into this room one night, just spend a couple hours and just let me go in. Y'all ain't seen me. Yeah, y'all ain't asked to go in, boy. Bring the anointing
Deacon
to
Kraft.
things, you know. So,
You gotta catch me when I ain't drinking.
Go ahead, Deacon Kraft.
let's cover last week's topic. Of course, I was not here for the show, but I was able to chime in just a
You were
little
here in
bit.
spirit.
Yeah.
I was absolutely here in spirit, man. I was all over the show while y'all were performing here. And so the topic for last week was, what is the scariest memory from a date from hell? What is the scariest memory from some bad dates? And I didn't get to chime in on it. You guys want to share a little bit about
I get. You want me to tell that one that?
I think that took the cake.
You think that one took the
That
cake?
one took the cake.
Okay, I had
Out
one
of
that
all of
let
them.
me know that he went on a date with somebody, and when they went on the date, he talked her into going back to her place, and I wrapped up to her, and they started having sex. In the midst of having sex, she riding him, and he like, yeah, he giving it to her, and then her eyes rolled in the back of her head, and he like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, and then she just fell down and head butted him, and he's like, what's going on? And she started shaking like crazy. She started having a seizure. So my boy didn't know what to do. So he was scared. So he got up, and he was like, he naked, she shaking, and he was like, dang, did I do all that? And she
Not
just
looking
shaking.
good
So
for the home
after a
team.
while, she started coming out of it. But then she got scared because she didn't know him. She didn't know what went on. So now he think he about to go down for rape. So he's scared in the mud. She started remembering like who he was. And so I was like, okay, you all right? And so she came back. She started remembering. She's like, oh, okay. And she was like, good thing I wasn't doing that when that happened. Yeah.
Right.
So
Mother
it
came up short.
That could have been trouble.
never know what might happen.
That
Things
is
happen.
That is a date from
So
hell.
it was a day. He said he ain't went back after that. I was like, why not? It's like bro. She scared me. I ain't know what was gonna happen next.
Stage
Yeah.
left.
So you might want to know your partner before you do everything. I'm just saying that was last week.
Yeah. I guess he could have known that, but probably not in the first week or so. She probably wouldn't open the door to that information.
No.
Yeah,
That's why I went down when he put it down.
Definitely a scary situation.
I guess he dropped his sugar low. Just saying, it was crazy.
Yeah, I don't recall too many very, very scary dates. I usually, when I shut off in the middle of the date, it's pretty much the wrap. I've seen enough, I've heard enough. Time to get away from it as soon as I can. So I don't recall too many strange situations that I've been in. What's some things you chimed in on last week?
You asked him,
Phil? Buddha?
Buddha been through everything.
You had a bad
Buddha
date
makes
before that?
stalkers. He makes stalkers.
What would you consider a bad date?
It
bro?
wasn't a bad
Marco
date.
Buddha.
It was just an after effect of the date.
That
That's
sounds
all.
like
It turned into a
STD.
stalker.
Well, okay.
She said
stalking.
STD. I said STD.
Yeah, that's the thing from hell.
Yeah, that is
You
a
burned
bad
it.
date.
Yeah, and that's one that carries on for a
Yeah.
little while too. I'm
The
sure.
day after pill ain't gonna help you on that one.
Yeah.
Penicillin, you need some hair.
Yeah, but it just turned into a stalker.
She became a stalker, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not good.
So she didn't want to quit you. When you quit her,
Yes.
she didn't quit you. That's what it sound like to me.
Never together.
But she still wanted to see you.
I mean, basically what happened is she came to the crib, we smashed.
Mm-hmm.
I went out the very next day with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
She texts me,
Mhm.
I know you're at home, I see your car. I'm like, "Ruh." And I'm in the theater with someone else. So that's all. It's just crazy.
Yeah. And that started the next day?
Yeah, I gave her the deal,
Wow.
on the first night.
Wow. That started
Oh
the
yeah,
next
you
day.
just nasty. Hey, you might need to retire. Nah,
That's
you
it.
might.
No.
You might.
It is what it
You
is.
just nasty.
Yeah. You know, I'm recalling a scenario.
Hold on, what was that, Barbara?
What's
What,
that, Barb?
what was that, Barbara?
You should have gave it a 360.
They talking about the 3 teams.
Yeah, maybe I should have gave it a 360.
Yeah. You'd have gave them three seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would have been no stalker. She'd have been
Yeah,
mad.
you're right.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what they say? Everybody can't get the A game.
No.
Abort the mission.
Can't get the A game. Yeah, that's for sure. Listen, we're going to shut this part down, but if you folks would like to check out the show, it was a fabulous show. I had a chance to hear about 3/4 of it, and it's just fun stuff. I think you'd enjoy it, and we are all over the internet. You can find us at bartalkwithj.com, of course. We're at Facebook and YouTube and Periscope and iTunes, Spotify,
Yep.
Google Podcasts, and there's several more out there. If you're looking for Bar Talk with Jay, it's easy to find us. And so we hope you chime in, share it with your friends and family. Like us, subscribe, so you can stay close to our products and continue to enjoy what we do. We're also very interested in hearing from you. If you want to email us or send us a message through one of the platforms, we're just interested in you being a part of what we do, because we're really nothing without you. And so let's just move on to our quote for today. And Miss Barr put together another fabulous quote. Would you be interested in reading this quote tonight, Barr?
Of course I will.
Yeah, well, come on, sit down and read it to us, and I'll see what I can do after that.
You fine. No problem.
Hello everyone, how are you doing today?
How you doing, Barbara?
Doing wonderful, glad to be back. The quote for today is, in a good relationship requires time and effort. We have to work at it, cultivate it, and learn to forgive and to forget. We have to be absolute loyal to one another to make it as a team.
Sound like a farmer. Well, that sound like to me. You better learn how to plant it, grow it, and know what you
Cultivate that soil.
plant. They might not grow.
We got it right.
Make sure it's in fertile ground.
What? Make sure it ain't too hard. Make sure you water it right. You gotta finesse that. Never mind. I'm an ex-pimp. I don't know about all that.
Like I said, you in reserves.
Yeah.
You ain't
My
retired.
bad. Crap, come on back in. Give us a little bit more love, baby.
This is a fabulous quote. A quote about good relationships. How many times do we talk about good relationships?
All the time.
We hope to have good relationships, but we don't really, talk about our desires for them sometimes. But it basically suggests that a good relationship requires time and effort. You have to work at it, cultivate it, learn to forgive and forget, learn to change your mind. You got to learn to be open. You got to learn to maybe sacrifice. You got to learn to sometimes keep your mouth closed. You got to learn to sometimes give more than you receive. You got to learn to be okay with unfairness sometimes. You got to be okay with giving up your wants for somebody else's wants. I mean, a good relationship requires pouring yourself in. And, I don't know that we ever really learned that lesson except for by experience in life. Right? Most of the times, we don't, if I'd have spent more loving time with that person from my past, if I'd have poured more in, I might could have salvaged something. I might could have did a better job or had a better relationship with that person. They require work. They do not happen through osmosis. If you want to be a friend to your friend, you have to pick up the phone and call them. And say, hey, I was thinking about you today. What's going on? Even if it's, you may have a thought. You're texting back and forth with your significant other all day, and perhaps there's a time to pick up the phone and just say a few words to them. You know, show them that you're wanting that interaction to be more than the average interaction, right? And they'll feel it. They'll feel it. They'll see it. They know that you're pouring in, and when people feel that you're pouring in, man, they'll go the extra mile for you, right? And then we ain't talking about just love relationships. We talking about the boss. We talking about your neighbor. We talking about the postman. You know, you got a little $5 gift there for the postman every year. I promise you, he making sure your mail on point, because he see that you pouring into him. So it covers every area of our lives in terms of relationships. And again, I just don't think we talk about it enough, because how do young people or young adults learn how to manage relationships? You know, life is pretty much relationships, right? We do nothing on our own accord. Our relationship with our utility company, our relationship with our lawn man, our relationship with our, you know, the guy who takes care of our car, the relationship with the guy who does our dentist, the guy who does our eyes, the guy, you know, we have all these relationships. We are nothing without these relationships. And just imagine a person who doesn't know how to pour into a relationship. They're always burning bridges, right?
Yeah, but
They're burning bridges.
on top of that, I think the start of a relationship, or a relationship period, any type of relationship, is an oxymoron. Because if you're going to give freely and you have expectations, you have to have no expectations as well. It's a walking and breathing oxymoron, because you have expectations.
Well, I completely understand
You
what you're
have
saying.
expectations,
I completely
but
understand.
at the same token,
But watch this.
at the same token,
That in any
those expectations breed chaos.
okay, watch this. But the reality is that I'm not going to continue pouring into somebody who doesn't feel me. See, at that point, I'm not, my expectations is met, because now I know that I can't talk to you about this. I can't go that relationship. I can't, you know. So I hear what you're saying. I don't think you make an invalid point. But I do think that.
Or you won't.
Yeah, listen. My gasoline isn't free, and when I'm pouring in, I need it to be received, and I need it to be reciprocated. And that's the way the world works. And if in any relationship, if it doesn't work like that, it's broken.
Yeah, but if you're giving your all, you shouldn't expect anything in return.
You shouldn't.
No.
So you should pour in the bad seed.
No, I'm just saying, if you want a crop to grow, right? You have an expectation that when you put this seed here,
And the fertilizer and soil.
you turn this soil,
Yeah, go ahead.
you feed it, your expectation is to get a crop.
Absolutely.
However, a good farmer will tell you that every single crop that he's ever planted did not live up to his expectations, even though he did the same thing, but he's still a farmer. So now you're going to change your whole situation because your expectation didn't yield what you wanted it to?
But
So now you're changing who you are.
But he's also.
You still have
Hold
to
on.
be yourself.
Hold on. He's also looking over his shoulder, and he could pinpoint exactly what he did to miss the mark on that crop.
You sure
See,
about that?
Yeah, in most cases, he can look over his shoulder. He said, "You know what? I didn't water enough. In most cases, I don't have enough fertilizer. In most cases, I didn't till the soil well enough. In most cases, I planted the wrong crops on that particular soil." I spent years in agriculture, so I'm real familiar with that, with the concept that you're talking about. And we're trying to bring it to real life philosophy. But the point is that when I prepare my input for this crop, I'm
It's the
expecting a
same
return,
thing, correct?
right? And
You're
so,
expecting a return,
and so
but at the-
I can watch this. If I'm being a friend to you and you're not being a friend to me, it's over with, bruh. Stop it. There ain't no need to be talking no more. I'm gonna be a friend to you, and you're not gonna be a friend to me. Why am I gonna continue to pour into you? What makes you so special that I'll continue to give to you, and you're not
on what
giving to
your
me?
definition of a friend is.
Okay, this is what I get from
Number
y'all.
one
This
definition
is what
of
I
friend.
get from y'all.
No, I'm just saying.
I
You
get it
brought
right
up
now.
friend.
No, it
Watch how y'all
Because
give
that's,
it.
that's,
Yeah.
no, because that's the
Yeah.
same thing as a relationship.
You over fertilize, you
Hey, listen.
That's the same thing as a relationship. Because if we don't have the same definition and we don't understand what your meaning of friend is and what my meaning of friend is, we lost right there
That's
at the
not
start
necessary.
because we ain't have a conversation.
That's not necessary. You got your philosophy.
Fellas,
Your philosophy will work for you.
We gonna go to work. We gonna let y'all argue. We gonna get back to the topic because I said
No, listen.
my definition, what y'all talking about, which is very meaningful, is if you take what y'all are talking about, cultivating all the rest, put it to a term that everybody can understand, the D, and put the D differently. You can get different results, and you can overestimate and all the rest. And that's what I said: take the cup and slap it, because it depends on how you look at it. It's an opinion. Bottom line. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna go to break, but first, before we go to work, we're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about tonight. What we got, Crab? What we gonna be talking about tonight?
Tonight, can a work spouse be a good thing if you respect its boundaries?
Hell no.
Don't answer the question. No, don't just say that. Come on,
Okay,
back.
we gonna come right back from break. All y'all, tonight we're gonna be performing like this all night long. So again, it's gonna be a treat for all y'all. You can see it live and direct.
I saw
Wanna
you
talk
on. I
changes
saw
and
you on
games.
stage just while you was performing, bro.
Man, this is what he do.
Yeah.
And that's what I appreciate.
It takes
I
a
got the
vision.
Spidey Venom on back here now.
Yeah.
Trying to hug the hood, Spidey Hood.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Sponsored by
right there.
J Talk.
Hey, I'm
Talk to
telling
Bartober
you,
J.
He doing it. He doing
I
it.
see me back here.
Just
I'm a
watch that-
superhero.
just
I
watch
love
that-
my cake because I told my ex I was
Just
gonna
watch that
change.
hood when you walk out the house. That's what I'm saying. Tonight you might get away with it. Ain't working out too good for us out there on the streets. All right, let's get
It
back
might
to
get
this.
robbed.
Let's rob these days. But you know, I feel like we might want to go in on this because I already threw that out there. You know, right there at break. Give them the subject again.
Okay, tonight's topic, we are talking about, can a work spouse be a good thing if you respect its boundaries?
All right. I said no. All right, this is retired.
You
First
said,
of all-
hold on, one at a time. One at a time. No, hold on. Let him finish. Let him finish.
He
We
gave
got
it to
time.
you. Where I say work wife, you know, I usually hear people say my work husband or work wife. So my whole thing is you got that ideal in your head. So automatically somebody feel like they privileged.
Privileged at work.
Right, because remember, that's your work wife. So let's just say you got somebody and you call her your work wife. Now you ain't looking at her as sexual at all right? But you say that's your work wife. She's looking at you like, oh, Amber. So now she's feeling a certain kind of way. Now you single and you saying she a work wife, but you giving her a picture of, oh, I'm still important to you. All right, so now you doing some things and you go out and you don't think it's that serious, but she already might have got it in her head. I can't say that will make a person feel that way. I'm just saying the scenario. All right. Sometimes we make stalkers, and sometimes what we say can put you there. So now you put that person there feeling a certain way about you because of the things that you say and how all of a sudden they're important. And now you trying to break it off like, no, it ain't like that at all. You just work wild. I got a real side thing that's better than you. Now it's offensive. But I'm doing all this at work, so I ain't good enough outside of work. So people can be offended because they thought it could be more just because they putting in more. And a lot of time I say that right there can lead down avenues that can lead you astray. I ain't saying that's in all cases. I'm just giving you some small ones. So again, I like my boy Phil to denounce what I'm saying. I just know he gonna have some problems doing it because he already know. Because he don't even use them terms. And he still got these problems. That's why I said he need to retire with me. We need to let some things go. But again, I'm just saying a lot of times people look into the words that we use. A person that's very
You're
helpful.
suggesting that you're misleading about it.
I say when you start saying work wife, work husband, and you already have a relationship, it's not even looked on very well with the person that you with.
Yeah. Now, if you call somebody your spouse at work, and I'm just kind of playing with the idea here before I bring my commentary. If you play with the idea that somebody is your spouse at work, you know, it ain't necessarily got to be sexual. It could be like, I'm gonna make sure that, you know, when you're busy, I'm gonna get you lunch. When you're out, I'll fill in. You need to leave work, I'll cover your shift.
Right.
I mean, we I made some cookies last night. I bring you some cookies to
Right.
work.
Can't that be a romantic thing though?
Yeah.
If she ain't getting nothing, if
Well,
nobody
listen.
else is treating her nice
Yeah,
and special like you are,
Yeah, but
and then you're not an ugly guy.
Yeah.
So now she getting good royal treatment from a nice looking guy, even though she might know you might have a
See-
significant other, but she's looking at you as you are the only special person that's even giving her any kind of love.
Okay, now listen. See, this is what I want to get to because your tone, as you bring this subject up, it sounds like there's some trouble to be had here. It sounds like
I'm just saying
sounds
I've
there's
done
some,
it before.
It sounds like there's some problems that are about to happen. Otherwise, there's
It
nothing
could.
wrong with her expecting me to be her work husband if I'm okay with that. If I'm, we can
If
we can
they're
share
okay with it.
lunches and we can commute to work and we can
Commute?
we can do all kinds of
She
stuff.
came to the crib before I'm dressed. Oh, it's gonna be a whole lot of stuff.
Listen,
Okay.
there's a lot of things
That's
that
why I'm
happen
retired.
under this
I'm retired.
perspective of spouse, right? Even though it's just a work spouse, it's not a normal
Well, we
spouse.
get it like the spouse thing.
Yeah,
So,
the
let me
spouse.
ask you-
Well, she just might.
Yeah.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you agree with having a work wife?
No, I
I'm
said.
just asking.
I said.
Okay.
Let me play with the idea before I get my commentary.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
I was just playing
Okay.
along with it. I got to be a radio show host here too, so just
Oh,
bear with me,
oh,
all right?
okay.
So there's a couple of different things we need to assess here tonight. I think a couple of major discussions under the umbrella of can a work spouse be a good thing if you respect its boundaries? Number one is should there be some rules or regulations about dating people at your job?
You don't have your money.
I think we need to be talking
Where
about
you
that
make
subject.
your
Hold on.
money.
I think we need to talk about that subject and the ramifications of it because we've all had some exposure and experiences. And the other half of the equation is work spouse. Work spouse is an idea that, how do I put this? I
The
mean,
wording
if you're
is
married, you're
detrimental.
supposed to be entertaining no damn spouses
The
outside of your
wording is
house,
detrimental.
right? So,
Period.
the other side of the so dating at work, and then if you're in a relationship, that work spouse. We just had a show about bridging the gap in relationships, and I think that you're violating the rules if you don't bridge the gap. I'm okay with you having your homeboy at work. You know what I'm saying? Y'all swap lunches and, you know what I'm saying, chill, whatever, catch up, break bread, whatever, da-da-da-da-da. But if I don't know him, then he's a threat. And you spending all day, every day with him, you spending more time with him than you spending with me. I got some questions, and if you don't properly answer those questions, it tells me it might not be pure.
I'll tell you like this. I'm gonna keep it simple.
Huh?
If my woman come home and tell me she got a work husband, I'm gonna have to tell you right now.
We got problems.
She can brag about him all
but
she
listen,
wants.
but
I'm gonna tell you right
here's
now,
the thing.
player. It's gonna be one husband,
have-
one
Watch
person in this dang on
But Jay-
relationship, and this other dude ain't wearing nowhere near
But
anything
Jay,
that I'm
you
talking
know how it goes, bruh. She is never going to title him that,
She
and she's
should.
probably going to try not to talk about him around you.
And that'd be the wisest thing.
But he's going to
But you know
exist.
she know better.
Hey, you know
But
something?
listen,
She's a very
hold on, one at a time, one voice at a time. He's going to be there.
Okay.
He gonna be at work when she get there every day.
Okay.
But she ain't gonna talk about it.
All I can tell you, I'm gonna say it one time, and it's real simple to me. You gotta look at it like this. If she's hiding, you already got a problem. Because you should be more open. My whole thing is a lot of times people are comfortable enough to know that, hey, you know that he ain't my real husband. It's not that serious. But one of the things I would tell anybody is watch how you handle things. Don't word things in a way that's gonna make a red flag. And my whole thing is when you see work husband and I'm that person that you think we're working that direction and you calling somebody else that, then that's where the opposition can come from.
That's a problem.
And it's just wording.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it ain't got nothing to do with sexual at all.
Yeah.
But again, in me as an alpha male, I don't want to hear about my woman going out to eat with him and he doing all these things. Before I dated her, that's what they did. Hey, I'm fine. I had nothing to do with that. But once I come in and we start building our relationship, you think I want to keep hearing about, all what he
But
do,
listen, Jay,
I'm just trying to tell you, bro.
Oh, man,
yeah,
listen,
no.
listen. We gotta shut down. No offense, right? This is just between me. This is trying to build a platform in the discussion. We gotta shut down the chatter, right? The chatter is that none of these discussions are not gonna happen. You're just gonna figure out that he went to lunch with her every week for the last 10 weeks. And you be like, oh damn, they've been to this restaurant, they've been to that. She's not gonna tell you about him. She's not gonna come talk to you and be like, oh yeah, I got this dude at work. We hang out, we can't. None of that.
Let
That's
her tell
all
me.
chatter. None of that's gonna happen. But you're gonna figure out that he exists. And you're gonna figure out that he's been, he might have brought us some flowers, or, he might have did it, whatever. So how you gonna respond when it comes to that?
You know something? I can handle it a lot of different ways, but one of the things I can tell you, me, retired pimping, I'm gonna look at it like this. If he was taking her out to all these different places, it's time for me to break away from lunch and I start taking her. She needs to start seeing me.
Okay.
So of course,
Jay.
it shouldn't be the jealousy of wondering about him. My whole thing is he did what he had to do,
Okay.
and he didn't get in.
Yeah.
Okay, now she in the ballpark with me.
Right.
So I need to knock it all the way home. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go there.
Yeah.
And then I'm about to finish what he couldn't. So while he was doing that to start it, I'm gonna finish it. But I appreciate what he did.
Yeah.
Because he appreciated what I appreciate. So he helped press that coal into that diamond that I see.
Yeah.
So all I gotta say is I have appreciation.
Yeah.
I ain't got hate.
So watch this. Now this is what I'm picturing in this scenario. Y'all follow me here if you would. You gotta go chase your weight. You gotta go chase your lady, man. Some dude taking her out, so you be like, oh, okay, I gotta go chase her. Now, if you decided not to chase her, does that mean that she gonna still be going out with this dude? So now you in a conflict where like, damn, I got to chase my own lady. You know what I'm saying? I got to chase my own lady. You know what I mean? I got her. I'm loving her. I'm giving her that. But now I got to go the extra mile so the other brother don't get in. She might want something else.
That's right.
She might want more than I can give her.
Or again, she just want to keep your attention. Sometimes they do things or say things to keep your attention.
They
Because
certainly
again,
do.
you can get complacent.
They
Don't
certainly
just
do.
blame somebody else.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta take accountability for yourself.
Right.
And a lot of times in relationship, you get stale. Where I don't feel like I have to do all that no more. I did this, I did these special things, but to her, no, you always got to do something. It's a revolving work ethic.
Yeah.
And again, sometimes we put our work ethic towards somebody else, and we miss the mark.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is not to throw shame on anybody else doing good things for people. I always want to say I like to see good men stand up and do positive things all day long. But I like to say we sometimes look at as hate. Why is he doing all this instead of looking at what you doing? Like, I'm working all the time, but when I do got free time, I don't got time for her. So now all of a sudden you want to talk about the one person that want to give her some time, and then you want to hate on him when really you don't want to have a lot of accountability for yourself. So again,
you on the edge of something. Well, man, I'm telling you. I see it in TR380's face over there too, because what you I'm talking about a man.
I'm retiring this now.
I'm talking about a man who's in a relationship. Keep us on time, boo. All right.
Good luck to him.
I'm talking about a man. He's in a fairly healthy relationship with his lady, his wife, and relationships aren't easy, right? So a lot of times things are gonna be challenging. She ain't gonna like what I said last night. We ain't spoke for a day and a half. We ain't having dinner together. We ain't calling and talking to each other all day like we do on the phone and texting each other. We kind of separate. We kind of mad at each other, right? That's a real relationship, right? But the other dude, he get to do cheap things and get my lady's attention, and now I got to go and chase her for that. There's something's not feeling right about that equation. Right? That's kind of cheating. At a certain point, it becomes cheating without sex. Let's just say there's no real involvement, but now she got somebody to come to work to, and she leaning on his shoulder, and she talking about, grandma's problems, and what happened with the son last week at school, and next thing you know, they're gonna naturally become friends. I'm of the notion that if you put a man and a woman in a room together, not extreme overweight, extreme crazy, anything, but just the average person, the average woman and the average man in a room together, they're going to start to like each other. They're going to fall in love. They're going to find an affinity. They're going to find a connection. And I don't care if they're black, white, green, Puerto Rican, and Asian. You put them together, they're going to come together. And so you send your wife to work with this guy every single day. He's charming. He's super fly at his job. She can learn something. She's growing with him. They're on the same page. They hang out. And now all of a sudden you start to realize that she might be happier at work than she is at home.
I'm gonna give you.
What do you do, man?
I'm gonna give you an example.
What do you do?
when I was younger, I dated a long time my ex-wife before I married her. And I had a person that wasn't really my friend. My best friend dated a girl, and his I ain't mention his name. I ain't gonna throw him out there like that. But she dated him, and he was around us. He was not really his associate. So he was trying to talk to my girl when I wasn't around. Now, you gotta understand, no matter how many problems you might have, there's always somebody lurking. The one thing I can tell you is, no matter how they lurk, you just gotta be the best you. Because one of the things I can say that she told me later is she never even noticed he was trying to come on. Her mama said, why is he always coming over here and spending time with you? And she was like, I don't know. She was like, I think he really like you. And my girl was like, nah, why would he do that? He know who I'm with. Because again, you gotta understand, when you really get into a person, she will speak your name and think of you when you ain't even there.
Watch this, Jay. I think about this quite often, man. You just brought up a real, just a powerful idea. That
no, I'm retired.
He likes, listen, they're friends. She thinks they're friends. But everybody, the mama, the grandma, the cousin, the brother, the son, everybody can see that this dude likes her. But she can't see it. Right? That's a problem.
Well, it's a problem.
That's a
Remember,
problem.
if she
I think
is
that's a problem.
really with you, and she ain't seeing what he doing, that's not necessarily a problem. Because she ain't trying to pursue.
Oh, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. The fact that she can't see it, she can't see the fact that he's pursuing her. That's a problem.
You have to understand the power that you have and not focus on the power that someone else has. Because if she doesn't notice him, that means that the only person in her eye is you. So the only person that's messing you up is yourself. Because if you're saying
I don't think you're going far enough.
No, because what you're saying is she should notice if someone is pursuing her.
Yeah.
No, she should.
Yeah, she should know that. She should stay in the house when she's home by herself, and the neighbor be lurking at her out the window. She should notice that.
No, she shouldn't. If she's in the presence of a man.
Okay, watch this.
No, hold on. Hear me out.
I want to stay right where you are.
If she's in the presence of another man, and you're not there, the only person that she's thinking about is you.
Okay.
So therefore, if you feel that she should notice another man, that means you're not confident in yourself, bro.
No, you gotta notice. You gotta notice.
No, bro. You're not confident in what you have. You're not confident in what you have, because if someone's pursuing her and she's oblivious to it,
let me respond.
And she's speaking about you.
Let me respond.
Bro, that's a compliment to you.
Okay, when you say your notice is twisted, when you use the word notice.
No.
Let me tell you.
We're talking about the subject at hand.
Let me tell you what I mean.
No, okay.
If some woman is pursuing your man, and he act like he don't know that, or he doesn't know it. In some cases he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? I think it happens in my world a lot. So my lady tells me that some woman's got eyes for me, but I'm like, no, she was just being nice, because I really don't pay attention to it like that. But if I didn't recognize it, she now has an enemy in her camp. My lady has an enemy in her camp, because this guy, this woman, whoever scenario, is pursuing your spouse. They're pursuing in a way that may be somewhat disrespectful. They're pursuing in a way that maybe gives them leverage, like they're always seen with your lady. You know what I'm saying? Because your lady bad, she cold, she handling her business, she down peace. So now he's kind of using the environment, and maybe to some degree using her, in a socio-political type scenario. I don't want nobody around my lady, and my lady don't know their intentions. I don't think my lady want me around no woman not knowing these women's intentions, because these women's intentions changes the whole perspective. I can't trust you to go out to work every day, and I know this guy is trying to holler at you strong, and you ain't said nothing to him. You act like it ain't happening. You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of an undercurrent conversation, because it's sometimes stuff that you don't speak on, but you're thinking about. You're like, I know that nigga hollering at my girl.
That's a problem for you. It's not a problem for her, because if you're confident in yourself and you're confident in your woman, and she doesn't realize that someone is trying to get her attention, that's good for you. That's not bad for you, bruh.
Yeah. Okay.
Some
Okay.
people strive for that.
Okay.
You have
You know,
to
I'm just-
understand the power of you.
I'm just weighing the audience participation, man. They're not feeling what you're saying right now. You done said it twice, and I done got the feeling in this room that somebody like, nah,
Maybe
bro.
it's you.
It's the thing like this. No, if I came to your house, man, with your wife, and you know I'm checking your wife out every time you walk out of the room, you're not gonna be comfortable with that, bro. Come on, man, stop playing games with the subject. You're not gonna want me in your house. You're not gonna want me around your wife if you know that I'm looking at your wife.
Right.
I'm trying to, so you understand the point.
Listen, you're bringing it like it's me and you.
No, I have to, so you understand. This is an example.
We
It's not
talking
real.
about work. If someone
Same difference.
no, bruh, no. It's not the same as me and you, and I'm trying to holler at your girl.
There's a relationship
It's not
out
the
there,
same.
and there's a relationship
What I'm
right
saying
here.
to you, and what I'm trying to get you to understand, if your woman is at work, and a man is pursuing her, and she has no idea, that's a beautiful thing for you, because she's not susceptible to his advances.
I understand
That's what I'm
that.
trying to get you to understand.
That makes
Right.
good sense. That makes good sense. Absolutely.
That's all I'm
That
trying to get you to
absolutely.
understand.
Absolutely. And so if we brought it home and I came to your house and you came around the corner and I'm checking your wife
That
bending
means
over
you
in the
have poor
kitchen.
choice in friends.
Perhaps.
That's all it is.
But listen, we just bring it home, right? It's gonna make you
That's-
feel
that's
some
what I'm
kind of
saying.
way that I could be at your house for whatever reason when you're not home, and you're not gonna know how I'm acting. You're gonna know how I'm acting, but you ain't gonna feel comfortable with it,
Then at
right?
first, you're not going to be at home.
About to check.
You ain't gonna even
You ain't
let
be
it.
around my mama.
Exactly. My point. Man, listen, this is fabulous discussion, and hopefully it's given everybody an opportunity to see under the current of relationships so that you can make some decisions. Because there's some things going on. There's always people with motives and intentions, and if you're not weighing them and looking at them, you're really not judging rightly on your own life. And who are your potential enemies and your friends, and who's going to look out for you, who's got your back and who doesn't. Those are the kinds of questions we have to answer in order to have good relationships, and that's what we're talking about here tonight. So it's time for us to take our next
Yeah, 'cause I
break.
gotta get a drink.
Yeah. I think we got a fabulous discussion going on here. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's just input. We hope you're feeling it and loving it. Stay tuned. We're gonna be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this.
One of the things I want to say, man, and I'm gonna change the show a little bit tonight,
Okay.
and I want to do something that not scripted, off the radar. I was not planning on doing all this fun stuff because a lot of times you get caught up in the business and everything you got going. And Barbara mentioned to me, it's your 50th, you need to celebrate it. I said, I did big things, 40, 45. It's another day. And she said, no, you got to look at it bigger than that.
Yes.
And she got me moving. Then my daughter called me on Sunday and she said, Dad, is there anything I can do to help with your 50th party? And I said, no, baby girl. Just you calling me touched my heart.
Yes.
And I love you.
Yes.
So don't worry about it. And then she drove my grandkids and her mother down here to make sure I had a great 50th birthday.
Yes.
Okay? Now, I am a humble brother that got to tell y'all, as much as I do, don't mean nothing compared to what all you try to pour in. So I planted seeds, and my kids are showing me a harvest that you will want to see.
Yes.
I couldn't ask for this, y'all. I swear to you, my business could never be more successful to know how much they care for me.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to ask y'all tonight is, I see all these challenges on Facebook. Please, tonight, I'm going to give y'all a challenge that I'm going to ask real men to stand the hell up. Okay?
Yeah.
Because I see all these other challenges, they ain't trying to motivate nothing. Okay, you got your licking ice creams in stores. This is the most nasty stuff I could ever imagine. I want us to stand up and be the best people we can be. I made mistakes. All right? I'm not a perfect father and I can't write a book on it. But for my child to come to spend time with me on my 50th, I promise you, it warms my heart And it makes me understand how important it is to try to be there for them. And again, they was raised in Ohio. I was here. So it was not right there in the same household.
Yeah.
I had to have a communication relationship. Okay? It was money being sent, and I always take care of my responsibilities, but never get twisted.
Yes.
By me not being there, I felt like it's still a distance. It's still something. But for them to still want to spend time with me and drive all the way down and make sure I have a great 50th, I want every other man to feel how I feel. I want us to stand up and realize we have to do more. If you have a child and you feel like you mad with the baby mama, F her, please go the extra step to try to find and mend whatever you can. We start staying stronger as men, it makes us whole again. I want us to be healed, not looked at as just damage. I promise you, it changes the woman's life, it will change your life, and my daughters taught me how much my life means. So when somebody tell you rich, I am rich in heart.
Yes.
To know I poured into somebody that shows me the love and respect. And that's what made my birthday. So my 50th was from the people that showed me the love that I was not looking back. So when you talk about farming and you understand growth, please understand it's all in what you do.
Yeah.
I planted that and I didn't know what was going to grow, bro. I did it from the heart. I did it because I loved them and I did it.
Yeah.
Okay, and I mean, I did it, and I did it, and I done that. But I did it. And my bottom line is, after I did it, there's more work to be done.
There's more work to be done.
And
Yeah.
then it's not with them, it's just with everyone else. So for all the ones that came tonight and showing me love, please understand, that's your harvest. That is the seeds that you plant when you put positive things out there. So my challenge to a lot of men, let's be the most positive people we can be. Change the narrative from just being a man to being a good man.
Yeah.
And that's my challenge.
Yeah.
And it starts
I love
tonight.
it.
And I
love
know it probably
Jay.
won't go viral.
And-
Y'all probably won't do it. But guess what? That's the problem. You will find something else stupid and you will follow it. And I'm telling you, I started this for a reason. Stupid don't fix nothing. But you can. Don't look at it that way. And don't ever look at yourself as stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid
Very,
is when you don't ask questions. I'm asking you one. Let's make change.
very.
And that's without the pimp hat, even though I got it.
Very fitting words for a 50-year-old man
Do
celebration.
you have
Thank
to
you,
just
Jay.
know the 50th?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
How about this a pimp
Listen,
called Slickback?
It is something to be proud of, Jay.
Slickback in
And-
reserves.
And listen, pimp called Slickback. I believe he was about 50 anyway. I don't believe you get enough pimp in you until you get 50. You
Come
know.
on now.
Great message, Jay. Great message. And for those of you folks who don't know, Jay was just planning an ordinary, regular, kind of average birthday.
That's right.
You know, as we get older, I don't know, something about me, and I think Jay can identify with this, that, you know, the days are just special in and of themselves. And the birthday is just another special day. But yesterday was a special day, and it was no holiday. And so we just kind of live our lives from that perspective. But in his expectation of very little for his holiday celebration, his family showed up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And, you know, his son surprised him, and, you know, they had all collaborated and put it all together. And woke him up out of his sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning. He was mad, had to go downstairs to see who it was.
Yeah,
I'm glad you had some underwear on when you went down.
It ain't matter what I got it. Let me tell you. I wonder who I was going to be choking.
Yeah, just imagine for your birthday celebration, people come from near and far to surprise you with their presence and really just want to pay respects and homage and celebrate with you. You know, don't want nothing from you, ain't looking to gain nothing, just really want to pour in, man. That's very special. And I think that whole message is a family message. And we don't share enough family messages. See, I'm big of the notion, man, that people will learn from these types of discussions.
They will.
That people will find growth. They'll find, if nothing more, they'll find a way to be more grateful for what their cousin did for them last week. Right? That brings joy to the world. And that's what I'm hoping that this show does, is just bring joy to the world. So congratulations on your 50th birthday, man. And listen, you are a great example for men. You're a great example for humanity because you go hard in the paint. You got a great heart, a great spirit. You got a lot of success behind you. You've touched a lot of people's lives, and you're full of life, Jay. That's one of the things I love about you, man. You're full of life. You're always full of positivity. The bar never goes down whenever you're talking to Jay. It always goes up, and it's just so it's so enriching to be around people who are moving in that direction. Okay? And so we just thank you. We thank the Lord for you tonight, Jay, and for your 50th birthday celebration, man. All the best to you. And I think I need to help you understand a few things about work spouse, though, a
Hold
little
on before
bit.
you help me out, because
Go
my
ahead.
drink is bubbling. I don't know if y'all see this thing is smoking, but the thing's smoking and bubbling.
Yeah.
What is it gonna do to my stomach? Bartender, you trying to? You know, girl, you know I got diabetes.
You got the sugar.
Yeah, got the sugars. I'm just saying, I'm trying to retire as a pimp.
Yeah.
Not just retire with heart
A
rate.
pimp with sugar. That's it.
You mean going to
Yeah,
the
yeah. So let's all throw up a toast. If you ain't got a glass in your hand,
Everybody
just
throw
throw
up
up your
a hand.
hand.
What's that?
This is for my boy
So
Smooth
again,
J.
everybody at
Bar
home,
Talk
don't
with
pour it
Jay.
out.
Pimp name
Pour it
Slipback.
in your throat. Let's get it going.
Yeah, to all that you are and to all that you do, man.
Bubbling too. See
Thank
what I'm
you so
talking
much.
about?
And all that you will be.
I
Here,
can't
here,
name Slipback.
here, here.
There it is.
Here, here. All right.
Drink it up now. I ain't responsible for what might happen to you. If you're underage, I'm not encouraging you to do any of this and drink responsibly, but it's a party tonight. All right, we're going to get back to the show. And one of the things I want y'all to know, again, this is a Halloween. It's my birthday, but it's also a celebration of life.
Yes.
So again, I'm one of the people that's not trying to do all the commercial days, and I ain't trying to do all the commercials. I'm not trying to give all my money out to what's everybody already know what's commercializing.
Yeah.
But one thing is, I do believe in you are to celebrate your life. Your life is to be celebrated. You are to live it really understanding that he gave you choice and make positive choices. Understand your choices, and you can make changes in your life, and you can stop living your hells when you realize this. So Craft, help everybody realize how you can look at things differently in this scenario, and that's what we do at Bar Talk with Jay. So let's pour this out. What we got?
Well, let me, Barbara always give me an opportunity to do a little craft segment, and this isn't just for me. This is just a liberating discussion for all of us. Basically, listen, we're all going through a lot of stuff,
Right.
right? There's a lot on all of our plates, and oftentimes it's heavy. It's challenging. It's not a user-friendly path. It's always maybe some troubles on the home front, or maybe it's not enough money. Maybe it's not enough self-strength to go out and do what you know needs to be done in life. But the point I wanted to make, and very simply put, is never, ever, ever, ever give up.
Thank you.
No matter how bad it seems, no matter how painful it is, no matter how big the problem may appear, never give up. But in order to have an attitude of never giving up, you got to be going somewhere important. You got to be going somewhere that's meaningful. Because if it's not meaningful, you're going to easily give up. And so I'm always of the notion, and I've shared this example on the show many a times, that we have to hang our faith on our promises to ourselves. You see what I mean? So if I want to be a millionaire, then I got to stand on everything about being a millionaire, and I have to strengthen myself with all the faith and confidence that it takes to become a millionaire, right? But if I'm not really resolved on being rich and being a millionaire, then when it gets tough, and when it get broke, and when I've been through bankruptcy twice, and when my business has failed, and when they keep telling me I'll never make it, I'll quit. But see, to be resolved on something like being a millionaire has got to be more than just about being a millionaire. It's got to be about what I can do for my family. That's what's going to get you up in the morning. That's what's going to keep you working hard late at night. What I can do for my family. I'm really reaching to get to a place where I can buy my mother a house. And I can make sure that I put my kids through college debt-free. And that I can make sure that I buy my kids' first car. That I can make sure that I got a retirement fund, or I got a plan for my life, that when I'm not able to work anymore, I can still thrive in my life. So becoming a millionaire is not just about becoming a millionaire. It's about financial freedom. It's about having the ability to own my life. I'll never give up on the ability to own my own life. I might give up on something short-sighted, something that I just made up in my head last week that I wanted to do. This conversation is really, I'm hoping that it helps you focus on your purpose in life. Never give up on your purpose. And if you don't know what it is, find the thing that's meaningful in your heart to achieve and rest your hat on that. And you'll build your faith and strength up to achieve that. You'll never give up on wanting to take care of your family. But you might want to give up on just being rich. Think deeper about your purpose. Drive, go hard. 80% of life is failure. You got to hear the message. 80% of life is standing and running in place. Standing in quicksand, always stepping out of the quicksand at the last second. People who have lived great lives will tell you hundreds of times they've been in deep, dark trouble where they thought they'd never come back. But they never gave up. The people who are on your TV screen and on your radio, the people who you see as made it and very successful, those people have been in some very dark places. Never give up. You got a point to make, man? Oh, okay, you talk to the bartender. Okay, yeah. The point of the matter is, set your eyes upon that which you desire, and never give up. Because if you don't want it for you, I promise you nobody else will want it for you.
It starts with you.
And I'll leave it at that.
Man, and you gave something that I hope everybody really just feels. Again, I know they were like, yo, but y'all were talking one way, but again, what is felt on this show is what's being given. That was meant for somebody, Crap.
Yeah, man.
And I hope that they received it.
Yeah.
And I hope it propels you, and that's why I want you to share this.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who else needs it.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. We have fun, but we are meaningful. We have contents, and that's why we're not shared across the world.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to make sure we have a show that makes sense.
Right.
Because I want us to heal and love each other.
That's right.
The
man.
pouring out
There you
ain't
go.
just about alcohol. It's about pouring out emotions and feelings so we can grow. Because again, if I'm scared to tell you about my failures, I promise you, you can look through me and see them.
Yeah.
So as good as we want to look, you ain't realizing somebody already seeing you for what you really are.
Right.
But you thinking you're better.
Right.
So when somebody talks over you and they ain't saying nowhere near you, that's because you had a wrong perception of you. And that's the saddest thing that I don't want to happen to you.
Yeah. That's
So again,
that's it. That's what this
No
show's all
rhymes
about.
to the reasons. Just understand. I want to see you the best way you see yourself. And a lot of times I don't think you really see you. And I can't say men groups who's going to be the one. I don't know where you at and where your situation. It was one of the things that helped me. But what I would tell anybody is if you tune in and start understanding that you can see you when you want to see you. And that's why I say some people are asleep.
There are a lot of people asleep. There are a lot
When
of
you
people
wake
asleep.
up and you be like, why ain't this working? And why they keep telling me stuff that don't make no sense? I prayed a long time. And I'm just saying, when I was praying,
Yeah.
I prayed for understanding.
Yeah. You know, Jay,
But what I pray for might not be what you pray for, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it help.
yeah, that's what this whole conversation is about. It's about waking people up. All of us, to some degree, are asleep. On a 1 to scale, if you're asleep at a 4, you need to wake up so you can get to a 5, right? And so we all have opportunities to go to the next level, man. But there's so many people just kind of lounging on their laurels for years and years and years and years, and they keep giving up over and over and over and over. And you know, it's just like reaching out for a loving relationship. I mean, how many of us, by age 30, you've met 10 people who you've tried to vest yourself into and you know, have a relationship and get to know them, or whatever the case may be, or 5 people, whatever that number is. But all of that's failure. You look over your shoulder, you like, he wasn't no good, he did this, he had bad
you
time.
pretty good at that time.
Right? So the
I
point
was,
is, the
yeah.
point is that you can never give up on what you want. There are people, perhaps in this room, who seek love, who seek real, genuine love, who want real, genuine affection, who want they ride or die, their significant other, and you cannot pay attention to your present moment experiences, because if you do, you're going to give up on love. And then you're not going to go out and meet that next person. right? And the other side of the equation that I wanted to mention again is, it's easy to say I'm gonna lose 20 pounds, right? It's easy to kind of give up on losing 20 pounds, right? But it ain't easy to give up on improving your health. And most people don't get focused on improving their health until they're in life-changing or life and death scenarios, life-threatening modes, right? Don't allow yourself to get there. Get focused on being healthy, and then start watching every little thing you do. You don't have to be, you don't have to be the end all to be all, but you say, hey, you know what? I'm only gonna have fried chicken twice this month, right? That's better in your health. I'm gonna drink probably a little more water every day.
It's called an air fryer too, guys.
Air fryer.
Yeah.
Ooh, some of the best chicken I ever had was on the air fryer.
You ain't
Bro.
had
With that
one?
liquid smoke. Oh
Serious,
man.
man. I got air fryer.
Oh, we're gonna tear that. What? Listen, we'll
I'm
get
just
the frying then, bro.
we'll talk about that a little later. We're just talking about
Yeah,
that.
get the frying.
I got gifts. And again, I have to share all these things later. I got toys. I buy electrical gifts all the time.
So the point of the matter here, folks, is we're trying to motivate you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And we really can't motivate you. All we can do is say something that you identify with. And if you identify with it, something in your spirit just sparks and you just get excited about maybe achieving your goal, going to the next level, being your greatest possibility. There's not enough inspiration in the world. I think that we could all use more of it, and that's simply what we're trying to do here tonight. When we come back from our break, we're going to go ahead and get and rock the subject on work spouse, because I really want to cover this side of the equation about dating people that you work with. There are some pros and most certainly some cons. And so I think we need to dive into that when we get back. So if you folks will just stay tuned, we're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this.
You might make sure you want to qualify.
Listen, that might be a smooth move.
It might be.
Now.
I'm just trying to tell you that. What? Wait a minute. You pimp.
Assistant pimp.
Hold on. I need to turn this around.
What a powder?
Hold up. What powder?
Look, I don't know what you said, but how you said it, it sure sounds good.
Do you want to? Do you not? All I can tell y'all, man, again, tonight is a special night. We're doing a lot of great things tonight. Bar Talk with Jay is bringing a lot of performances, and the things that I want to do is tell y'all, we got to have some fun, but one of the things we want to do is get back to spiritual healing. In this whole debate about work wife, work husband, one of the things I want to make sure y'all understand is I'm not saying you should, shouldn't. That's going to be up to you. But just remember the disrespect you can be showing somebody that honors that role. Now, one of the things I want to say early on is if I take you as my wife, and then I go around work and I say a work wife, I'm passing a role that, remember, can be played with. I don't feel like you should play when you honor certain things. So I respect all good men that honor that and not play with it somewhere else, because bottom line, that honor is shown. And I don't want to show no disrespect nowhere around the board. You can show somebody care all day long. I ain't tripping.
Okay.
But when you start throwing certain words like work wife, you already have an obligated wife that is loving you and caring for you, and she don't care to hear about somebody else with a play title. Okay, it's called a play title. But she's still getting attention from you. Your attention is there, and it can be looked at that way. I ain't saying what it is, because there's some innocent situations going on, and that's displayed with because of the title. But my whole thing is, I don't like to play in a gray area. We have a lot of things going on today, and I don't think y'all really recognize them, because the gray is starting to get too damn gray. When I gotta go to a restaurant that says male, female, and unisex. Because it's starting to get so much to a point you just have to realize the gray is getting more complex. And I want us to stay more clear on what we're trying to do. So if I tell you I have a wife and I'm playing around with a work, see, it's a lot of playing going. And then everybody want to keep playing around. then you want to say, why am I retiring?
I gotta go back to it's just not a spoken thing. It's something
It's not
that's
always spoken. It's done though.
It's something that's happening, but it's not talked about.
I feel that the gray is just getting larger.
Yes.
And the black and the white is getting smaller. That's all it is.
Well, that's the truth. Absolutely.
That's all it is.
Pivot on pivot and pivot on.
Yeah.
What you say?
Let's talk about dating people at your job.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, what is the perspective that you might have? Is it okay to date people
Hell
that you
no.
work with?
It didn't work out well for me.
Are you commenting on
have your
that?
money.
What? I'm
You
just
don't
saying,
have your
it's
honey
about
where you make
perspective.
your money.
Never have your honey where you make your money.
Never.
What's the comment?
Don't shit where you do business.
Don't shit where you do business.
See?
I ain't think about
I
that,
like
but
that.
I'm just gonna tell you all that.
That's real talk.
Don't
You
shit
know,
where you play it.
you
Yeah.
can it happen? Now I'm gonna tell you a scenario where it can. If you and your wife come up with a business idea and you and your wife work that idea, you and your wife work in that business, then you gotta understand position and titles, as in roles, and y'all can make a successful business, no doubt in my mind. But just understand, think about if I have a business and then I bring somebody on, somebody I date. Now all of a sudden they feel that they can do certain things.
Entitlement.
And that entitlement can cause problems because I built this.
I think it is the
And then you
entitlement.
start to take from me because of that entitlement when you start to dictate and rule something that you had no control over way before you met me. So that's where I feel like the disrespect can come from. But again, when you have a significant other, y'all are together. But sometimes you can be together and she can be apart. She can still be the person that I lean on when I get home because I have to deal with and fight with to keep my 24/7. Guess what? I don't always have to deal with that at work and at home.
Yeah.
Because when you work with me, I'm dealing with the same thing I work with. So to me, crap, we
Should you date
fight
people at work?
every day. And I tell you, when I have to go home and fight at home too, that might not be what I really want. And I can only say it's not for everyone. Be very strong. I disagree.
Have you had a successful long-term
I
relationship with
can't tell
somebody that you
you
met
I had
at
a
work?
very successful long term. I had a great short term. I had some great short terms.
People that you work
Oh,
with?
okay.
Yeah, did I work
Yes.
with? It was
Short
great
term.
short term.
Okay.
But I can't tell you great long term.
And did it cause any problems? Why was it short-term? It just
Because
wasn't
that's
there?
what it caused. It caused some other problems. That's why it's short
It caused problems. What kind of problems did it cause? Jeff?
What kind of problems you thought?
People
Entitlement, asking for something. Oh, you make this? I didn't know you made that much. Oh, well, hell, we can do all kinds of. You've been
No,
taking
we
me to
can't.
Steak and Shake. You need to be taking me to Red Lobster. You ain't Red Lobster material. I took you where you are at. You have to bring people to. Don't get me wrong. How you date is up to you. But my line, now I tell anybody, if you broke, I don't judge people by their status. I go by how you act. So if you acting broke and your ass acting ignorant, you ain't going to no high established places because you ain't embarrassing my ass. Pimp for a reason. Understand the season. You can definitely be seasoned acting that way. So when you come into me, automatically.
You're bringing pimping skills into a different conversation.
Oh, my bad. I'm retired.
Oh,
But I'm just saying you gotta watch how, the people that you bring in because again, on a lower level or whatever. Let me tell you one thing about dating. When you date, I don't always have to judge, okay? Because I don't care about a person being broke or not. My whole thing is their mind state. Because a person can have something, lose something. That don't mean that person is broken. That person can lose something and they can regain it because they have the knowledge. Compared to a person that's been gifted because of inheritance, had no way of keeping anything because they think foolishly. Now they can foolishly lose theirs and yours. You gotta understand a person. And that's why I say a lot of times people run for money. People understand people and understand their money. Because one thing I really think that's really sad is when people hear stuff like the bag. Okay? And I know that's off of Cardi B.
Yeah.
So I gotta get that because that's where it came from. Came from Cardi B. But when you hear Cardi and you say the bag, have a definition of the bag.
Yeah.
Have an understanding of positioning of what a plan is. And then you can be successful in getting somewhere. But when you hear something, and that's what happened in music, I hear the bag, and I hear people say, I'm out for the bag, and you don't understand what it takes to get in that position because you heard it, but you don't understand it. And that's what's sad to me. Man, that's what I hear. I want to make sure people are in position. But right now, they're playing. I don't want people to play. I want people to be in position. That's why people are failing. Because now you're hearing and you're acting and you're not doing.
Yeah. So,
That's all.
So I don't think that it's a good idea to date people that you work with if you can't handle it. And handling it means being able to manage the situation, right?
Correct.
So, and that might require some tactical and strategic ways to handle your relationship. For example, you never have lunch together. You never bombard the organization or the company. You never bombard the office with your relationship, right? So that people aren't always seeing you in their office and they're always being in your office. And you have to manage the situation. And what I'm suggesting is that it may be very possible to find Mr. and Mrs. Right or your next significant other with, in the workplace. There are beautiful people in your workplace. You can already see they're going somewhere. They already may have some other interests and hobbies that you might have interest in, and you spend all day, every day with them. And so sometimes there will be a spark in the environment, and it may start with, a lunch encounter, and next thing you know, it ends up being a dinner or whatever. But I would encourage you not to just sleep around at work, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna have some interaction at work, try to make it be meaningful, and then you can control it. Because if you just having sex with these girls and turning your back on them, next thing you know, they're gonna start creating some havoc in your environment. You just cannot do people like that because they have feelings and they think you didn't care about their feelings, so they're gonna not care about your feelings.
Right.
And then you're gonna have the wolf and the fool and the enemy all in your camp operating because you've given them permission. They've got something on you. That's the leverage in almost every power situation is, do they have something on you? And if they got something on you and they can leverage, and they're the type of person to leverage and use it against you, they will if you give them a reason to.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a different scenario. This weekend, Jeff Bradley, my boy from Ohio, came up. And him and his fiance,
Okay.
he's about to get married. Never been married before. Had nothing but love for me. Same when I went back home and we did our class reunion with my boy for life. He is dating somebody that he worked with. Did not work with him, but he worked with him.
His fiance.
His fiance, he worked with.
Okay.
And their relationship, and I want to speak on it because again, I got to know more of it when I went to my class reunion and when he came up to have fun with me a week ago, just this last weekend. And one of the things is they have future plans, not just marriage. See, a lot of people just look for marriage. No, they have future plans on how they're going to retire, where they going. They got a future plan. So they're getting married June of this year.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not this year, next year. Apologize, I want to be politically correct. Next year, 2020, they get married. But they have a goal of when they're retiring and where they're retiring to.
I wonder.
Now, my whole thing is, when I say this, is you don't have to look at things as a short term. When he met her, it was like to greet her, to understand her. My man learned another language dealing with her.
Okay.
From where she from, not to put her business out there.
Okay.
But she didn't speak English at one time, but she had broken English, but she learned English pretty well.
Okay.
My man learned Spanish because he knew where he retired to won't even be here.
Let's talk about what happened in that environment as they began to fall in love.
Can't.
We know what
Because
happens. We know what happens.
I can't.
Sometimes there's some favoritism.
He found a way to make it work, and they are making it work. And that's what I'm going to tell somebody. Be positive in who you meet and where you want to go because they made a plan. See, most people have a hope. If you don't have a plan and figuring out how it's going to work, and they sat and told me they planned, that they planned together, that is going to take you further than this stuff that y'all keep calling love.
And I
He
wonder,
fell in love with her but he fell in love with the person she was, but really the plan of how they was going to be. His whole thing was, she was a nice person that I thought I would want to be with, but it became greater when they started talking and planning for more. It was discussed, it was planned, and now they speak it together. He say, she say, and it made me feel it was a togetherness. It's a give and take that most people don't do.
But I wonder.
She ain't the one told me to plan. They told me to plan.
I wonder, as they was falling in love and planning, if any of the co-workers or the bosses was throwing dirt. I wonder if anybody was in jeopardy of getting pushed out, losing their job. Or the boss is like, okay, we can't wait till they get married, so one of them can quit because we can't have two people in the same family working in the company.
Only thing I can tell you is I
You think
can't
there was
speak
any
on
of that
that.
stuff going on?
Only thing I can say is I can't speak on it because, again, I didn't ask.
Yeah, we're not talking about them in
But to
particular.
me, I would tell anybody it's going to always happen.
It's going to happen.
But
That's
they have a plan of an out.
Yeah, we're not talking about. We're not talking about. We're just talking about the antics of
Their
the
whole thing is,
relationship.
if they keep their plan that they had devised,
We're not talking
it was
about them,
not
though,
about
Jay.
no. They ain't looking at nobody else.
Listen, we're not talking about them.
Right.
We're talking about what happens in a
Oh, I
work
ain't gonna lie, it's haters.
What
Oh,
happens
yeah.
in a work environment when you date somebody that you work with?
I'm gonna
That's
be
what we're
all day long. There's gonna be somebody that's gonna give you opposition.
A lot of problems.
It's
That's what
gonna
I
be
want
a
to talk
lot
about.
of
right?
opposition. But I'm gonna tell you all day long, you create a lot of that opposition
Yourself.
in your whole demeanor and how you carried yourself. So again, that right there can be your own downfall. But I will also tell you, can be your up is when somebody sees something great in you, because they're gonna get past all that shit that everybody else do, and they already know. And that's when you're ready. Everybody ain't ready for that. That's my whole thing. Don't push nobody for marriage and they ain't ready. If you ain't to a point that that's where you want to be, don't push nobody there. Because I'm going to promise you, they're going to have more headaches, more upsets, thinking that they're doing the right thing, and they don't even understand what they're about to get their ass into. And I'm sad about that, but I really appreciate people that say, you know something, I don't think I'm ready, and I'm going to take a little bit more time for me. And a lot of people say it's a cop-out. It ain't never a cop-out. When you take that responsibility, you got to roll. And a lot of times, people just want to play. And that's why we got this situation that the great getting greater is getting great all over. Because they can. I promise you, I played longer than I should have. Why? Because this shit is great opportunity. Man, I didn't know it's this good out here. ATL got some wonderful things for you. If you ain't broke, you can do all kinds of things.
We talk about workplace.
I said I'm about to retire. I'm just saying before I retire, there's a lot of opportunity and there's a lot of things you can do. Bottom line, I'm going to tell you, back up and understand your wealth, your worth. I'm on reserve, but I will tell you, it is worth it when you find the right one. Take the time to realize a person. But along the way, I got great relationships with great people that I will tell you, it's not about all what I did. It's about the things that I touched and the things that I want to do. You have to be cut from a different cloth that we all have, but we don't want to be. I want to be somebody else. He created you to be you. That's why you ain't built like everybody. Everybody ain't perfect, but you want perfect. How you want a perfect wife and you ugly as hell? I'm just saying. You can't expect what you ain't. But a perfect person will see your flaws and will make them great. That is a relationship that you want, and that's happiness. Y'all don't understand happiness. Y'all still playing on what y'all think because you don't know. My whole thing is back up. Because he didn't ask you for that. He didn't ask you for the, because he let you choose. But he's giving you opposition for you can understand decision. But you still choose something other than him. And then you wonder why you go through the hells of life. Hell is your decisions. I'm trying to get you out your hells and back to your glory. It was always in you. It wasn't her. She seen it in you. But you still chose you. But you still praise him. But you do you. And then you wonder why you blame your pastor and everybody else because you don't understand you. All I'm saying is wake the hell up and understand you. And you can understand that it ain't about the pastor. It ain't about anything. It's about you. Accountability ain't being held. That's why we ain't got good men. You got boys that was what? changed into men because of age or whatever you want to call it. But the bottom line, then they call it, but it ain't holding. My whole thing is you was given a gift and you ain't using it. Because I have something else that I can give you, but that ain't what he asked of you. You have to understand it's a decision. That's the problem of today. We have the power of choice, and it's not being made properly or understanding. It is based on money, wealth, and power. So now you got TV shows teaching you the same thing, and then you wonder why you think it's so crazy when you have a good person in front of you because there are other things I can choose.
Right.
That power is the problem of divide,
Ain't conquer.
and we getting conquered, and we ain't getting nowhere. I just want us to get better, because I promise you, the love we have at this table and I feel in this room can overshadow anybody making any great mistakes. It's gonna be mistakes made, but mistakes is a stepping stone. If we stop all that and realize where we at, there's no way in hell we can go back. We go back to what we are comfortable with, but you scared to go to greatness of what he's asking. Them dark roads get light.
Yeah.
He has a path for you, but you scared of a path because you used to. Everything you used to ain't for you.
Yeah, familiarity. Familiarity is really not a good thing.
And I want the best for you, because I promise you
It's
one
not a
thing
good
about
thing.
me. I've been through some dark times, rough times, and the one thing I can tell you about my 50s, I didn't know I was ever gonna make 50. As a child, I didn't know I was gonna make 50 coming from Akron, Ohio. I'm not gonna lie, and this is not the place that I can tell you that everybody make it out of. But I'm down here in Atlanta, Georgia, which, hell, is more killing here than where I came from.
Absolutely.
And I made it through there and here. It's not just where I came from, it's what I'm about.
Right.
You've been born with a gift. Get back to your gift and quit blaming with your area, your zip code, and all these other things that you want to play with.
Right.
Quit playing and start acting, because you have a gift. If you got a woman to see anything in you, you have a gift. Because if a woman be with you and she ain't seeing nothing in you, then you don't have a good woman. Because every woman I ever know seen something. They got that divine gift. They got gifts too. And they can enhance yours. But when you play somebody, that's playing on playing. Pimping on pimping. And that's why I'm retired. Because playing somebody and calling yourself being somebody ain't getting nobody nowhere.
Yeah,
And when
back
I'm
retired.
all day long,
Active
if I
reserve.
call myself a pimp, and I got my granddaughter in my room that's
Active.
here in my building, I'm not
Active
feeling
reserve.
good, because that's the last person you ever gonna pimp. I'm protecting that. So I gotta let some old things down to let some new things in.
There you
And
go.
that is seasonal. Change what you do for better.
Yes.
Active
There
reserve.
you go, man. Go, man.
I think,
That's
you know,
what
I
I
give
Pimp calls.
some-
Go ahead, bro.
A
I
pimp.
said the gift. I said people don't know the gift. You know, gift is not giving the present. It's in the present. You know, some people all they have is themselves to give. And if they're not giving themselves, then what are you giving? Your time or illusion?
Right.
We don't put time down
He ain't never
to
show.
build a
He ain't
relationship.
never
You
show.
know, we're in that social media, we want
He ain't
everything
never
quick.
show.
We want fall in
He ain't
love
never
quick.
show.
We want everything
He ain't never
fast.
show.
But back in the day, it took time to gain something. And right now, the whole world feels like we impatient, you know. So the things that we trying to accomplish, we gotta look up to the people that done it before, been there, done that. Honor the OGs, honor the older people. You know, we don't never take time out to listen to the elders and elders, cause we think we know it all. So that's where the key at. So my generation, listen sometime. You know, that goes for men and women. So when we listen, we'll find out the gifts we have to give somebody. That's the gift. I think so.
There you go.
Man,
And,
that was lovely.
Yeah, man, that's super powerful. Listen, we got to take a break right now. We're going to come back and wrap this show up like we do every week. And so you folks stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay. Welcome back to Bar Talk with Jay, folks. And we are going to attempt to wrap this show up. We really got about 5 minutes. Right?
Oh,
Really,
my bad. I'm coming back, bro.
I want to
The way
just...
she was eating that chicken. I thought I had to sit down. I don't know if retirement is necessary.
All right.
When
So,
she was eating that chicken, I'm telling you right now, I thought I was Colonel Sanders.
so give us some closing remarks.
Okay.
Quiet in the studio, please.
Closing remarks. One of the things I want to say is just watch. Again, I like to say work wife, work husband. Nothing could be wrong with it. I ain't tripping on that. But disrespect can be shown. Because how you're giving it. If you got a person that's important to you to do good things for you, I wouldn't use that word as a word of importance because it has a title different than what you really want.
Right.
If I have a wife, I don't need to play around with a work wife because she don't deserve that title.
Right.
That woman that has at home deserves that, and that's the only one. The other person is a person that handles that title of business. Business need to be titled and understood compared to what you start playing around with, and that's where gray areas come from.
Yeah.
And that's me, but I won't tell you everybody's situation is the same because if I wasn't married
Well, here's
and I played with it, it could be looked at as okay, play forward, but it also can be misleading. So again, it's all up to
I'm gonna
you,
say it like this.
but I ain't saying that has to be.
I'm gonna say it like this. There's been a lot of people missed opportunities at work and downright fired for messing with people at their job. You cannot go into your environment and treat it like it's the street. You have to go in there if you're gonna meet somebody, if you're gonna have a significant other, if you're gonna date somebody that you work with, you have to use tact and you have to really slow the process down. You really don't want anybody in that environment knowing that you all are dating. I think that's one of the safest ways to have that relationship with the person who you work with. Not let a single person know, not your friend, not your boy. Nobody should know what's going on between the two of you. And that way you can manage the relationship and the relationship doesn't impact the work environment. That's why people get in trouble at work cheating, because the relationship starts to impact the work environment. It ceases production. Right? If I'm the manager of the store and my salesperson who I'm messing around with coming in late every day, leaving early, taking long lunches, they are impacting the coverage of the store, and we're missing business and opportunities because of it. So you gotta have some common sense in these equations. I think the most important part of the equation is don't put yourself in a position where you can be leveraged out of your position.
And watch your positions,
right?
Just a little snippet. I dated my manager, right?
How that work
Funny
out?
little story. Like, it worked out cool because, like you said, you got to keep it on the low. You got to keep it under wraps. But then it's a flip side to it because it's like, don't nobody know, you feel me, what y'all got going on, which is good. But at the same time, when y'all go out in public, or the same people that y'all know, y'all can't interact. So y'all can't go to the same places. Y'all can't,
Yeah.
they may get invited out to this and they want you to come, but it, it get weird.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, I can't show up because we gonna have these type of feelings for each other, we gonna link on their level and they're gonna see. So it's kind of like what's done in the dark eventually comes to the light, So I had to go ahead and put a boundary on that, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But it was a hard thing to do. But
Jay, we have TR380 in the studio, obviously. And,
Man,
he wanted to
he's-
close us out with a poem tonight.
He are.
Are you
He
okay with
is.
that?
Always. One of the things I want to tell you is my birthday night, right? And I always gotta have like the closing session, and it's not about what I do. We are a team effort. I had King perform all night with Rock, and they did great things. So tonight is a special night where my man TR, which has not been in the studio here lately because he's been doing great things. Been seeing him on Facebook, been all over the place. But he graced me on my birthday. Didn't even announce to me he come. But he always know he welcome. And he came for something, and I want to give y'all the gift that he wants to give y'all. Why? We keep giving. Give it to him, my brother. TR, give it to him.
Alright, man, this Trey 8 of the future. If you ain't moving with the movement, keep it moving. I just want to say I love the show. I love the dialect. I love the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? the exchange of information that I get when I come here, you know, and it always gives me a different perspective or a different light to look at things, you know, and I
Yes.
appreciate that about y'all.
Yes.
That's why,
yes.
like, you know, that encouraged me to start back doing my motivational messages in the morning, like.
What you do?
Which you do
Yeah.
great. Fantastic job.
Appreciate
I get
that.
it.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I call this thug, you feel me, the hate you give. So 3/5 of a man, I am much bigger than that as the light reflects on the eyes that I use to look in the mirror. But to the system, I'm no more than a little nigga. In a crowd full of voices, I'm no more than a little whisper. I'm no more than a crop from the field that holds the blood of Emmett Till as they dragged Emmett Till. He was bruised and battered, tied to a noose on the back of a truck. I stand, but I get weak in the knees because he ain't the only black boy to be slain by a white man. I sing a song of agony as the screams I've heard and the things I've seen paint a picture in my head of Rodney King, of Trayvon Martin, of Sandra Bland, and I just think our lives lie in the white man's hands. But I will not sleep because I'm suffocated by the things I've seen. I'm claustrophobic, and these murders so close to me that it make me feel like Eric Garner because I can't breathe. My heart swells when I think about how they took Rashad Bell. My heart locks as I remember my 20-year-old little cousin, Deshae Knox. We ain't choose the lives we was given, we just lived them every day looking for a way out. I'm gasping for air, breaking down in front of the casket of Jerisha Gatlin. Lord, I'm asking, take this vengeance from my soul. No justice, no peace. We keep killing because we keep killing, and we can't stop because we born in it. And they keep killing us because we just niggas. They don't know why they hate us, we just different. I remember the lives of Caleb Smith, rest his soul. He just got killed the other day. And Martina Smith Payne. They died 4 years apart, but they was born around the same time. So today, they would have been the same age. R.I.P. Peanut, 17. He just got killed last week. And it's crazy to me. These my family members who died to gun violence, but nobody knows their names. But just because you never heard of them don't mean that you don't know my pain. Another black boy slain, slave to the same streets, slave to the same code, where the new members of the gang die over the old beef. My soul weeps. I'm so strong, but Lord, why do I feel so weak? My soul weeps. This shit's so deep, but they wonder why we keep heaters tucked in these cold streets. I get sick and tired of taking stands for the people who don't stand for my people, but instead stand for oppression. People who act superior but felt inferior when a whole community of black folks was the only ones to thrive in the depression. It's depressing to think that we have to work harder to remain average. Trapped in a class considered classless. You do realize we still live in the projects, yes, but we still don't realize it's a project to make projections on our progress. It's a process, a white man's world full of a black man's pain. Still our ideas, but could give a damn what a black man think. What you think? Well, I think what's being done to us is dumb as fuck. We pro-black until that greed gets one of us, and now we have to say a speech about one of us, and the tears falling as you stumble up on your words as you hear Malcolm's words, that they will pay one of us to kill one of us just to say it was one of us. And the jury found that black man guilty, and although he pulled the trigger, who really killed him? That's the hate that you gave us niggas.
And I will tell you, that right there,
That's powerful, man. That's powerful.
I couldn't ask for. On my birthday, he gave you a poem that I hope touch your soul and would hope change your life. Because I'm telling you, what I see is what he's telling you. Can we make change? Can we stand together?
It start here. It start with these conversations. It start with this dialogue, you know. That's why I appreciate coming out to the show. And like you said, I've been doing some things, so I just want to, you know, get a little quick promotion in there, you feel me? I just started a t-shirt
Ain't nothing
shop.
quick.
And we
You did a deep promotion.
we are most grateful for you being in the
You know what I'm
studio
saying?
with us. And we want to thank everybody else in the studio with us
man.
tonight. We got family, we got friends, we got our team who's always here. We got Barb in the house tonight. And we just want to thank you all for being a part of this show. We want to thank our all the people who subscribe and like us and who watch our show. For those of you who are with us live tonight, it is our honor and privilege to do this work. We hope you've enjoyed the show. We hope you've got something out of it. Maybe it's been liberating to your spirit, as I said in the beginning we wanted to do. And again, my brother Smooth J, happy birthday to you.
Oh, yeah,
Him Carl Slick, man.
Don't ever get this twisted.
Yeah.
One of the things I can tell you is even when we're about to pop the top.
Okay.
Don't ever get this away from what we trying to give you.
Yes.
I had several different people come out in my honor, and I appreciate all y'all from King, Rock, and TR380.
Right.
We're about to end like this. So, Papa, tell y'all, That's how we do.
And we have.
Here comes Big Bear. Who all doing this? Jay.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.